What if starting a business cost you absolutely nothing? Not a single dollar, not a single cent. Would you still find a reason not to do it? Because millions of people are leaving real money on the table every single day, convinced they need capital they simply don't have. The truth is, the zero capital side hustle isn't some Instagram fantasy cooked up to sell you a course. It's a model that predates the internet, predates venture capital, and honestly predates most of the excuses we tell ourselves. The real barrier was never money. It was always the system we built in our heads that said you needed it. Let's talk about what actually works, because not every start for free model is created equal. Some are genuinely powerful, and some will have you working 80 hours a week for grocery money. The ones that hold up are built on a simple principle. You trade time, skill, or access before you ever trade cash. Freelancing is the most obvious entry point, and yes, we know you've heard it 1,000 times. But hear us out. Platforms like Upwork and Fiverr are essentially free storefronts, where your laptop is the only inventory. A writer, a graphic designer, a video editor, or even someone who's good at spreadsheets can be billing clients within 48 hours of deciding to start. Then there's a service arbitrage model, which sounds fancy, but is really just this. You find someone who needs a job done, you find someone who can do it, and you sit in the middle collecting the margin. Lawn care, cleaning, delivery coordination. You're essentially running a business on a phone and a handshake with $0 in overhead. Content creation looks glamorous from the outside and absolutely humbling from the inside, but the economics are real if you're patient enough to let the audience compound. You're not gonna go viral in week 1, but 12 months of consistent output on YouTube, TikTok, or a newsletter can build an asset that pays you while you sleep. Here's the irony that nobody loves to talk about. The zero capital models actually demand more discipline than the ones where you put skin in the game financially. When you've invested money, fear keeps you honest. But when the only thing you've invested is time, it's dangerously easy to quit the moment it gets uncomfortable. History is full of people who built empires from nothing but a skill and a phone. Gary Vaynerchuk started by filming wine reviews in his dad's liquor store, and Sarah Blakely sold fax machines door to door before Spanx had a single investor. The pattern isn't luck, it's obsessive consistency in a model that had room to scale. Now, let's address the misconception that zero capital means zero risk, because that's actually backwards. Your risk in these models is opportunity cost. Every hour you spend on a side hustle that isn't growing is an hour you didn't spend on one that could have. The practical lesson here is ruthless prioritization. Pick one model, run it for 90 days with genuine effort, measure it honestly, and only then decide if it deserves more of your time. Diversifying too early is just a sophisticated form of procrastination, dressed up in entrepreneur language. Position size matters even when money isn't the currency here. Your time is the asset, so don't go all in on 5 different hustles simultaneously, like some kind of sleep-deprived venture portfolio. One focused bet, executed with discipline, will always outperform 10 scattered experiments. The philosophical truth underneath all of this is that constraints are creative. Having nothing forces you to be resourceful in ways that a fat bank account never would. Some of the most elegant business models ever built came from someone who simply had no other choice but to make it work without money. So the question was never really, can you start with zero capital? The answer is obviously yes. And it's been yes for centuries. The real question is whether you're willing to trade the one thing you can never get back, which is your time, with enough intention and consistency to make it count. And if you're ready to take that first step, whether it's launching a hustle, investing in real estate, tackling a home project, or finding the right lender, check out our links in the description below and let's get you started.